Build the God Squad you've always wanted. InstantMuttCoins.com. Instant delivery, cheapest prices, 24/7 support. Use code CC 15% off. EA tax 10% is covered. Hey, what is going on, Madden family? We are back doing our linebackers rankings list. Now we're doing middle, left, and right linebackers here. Again, some of these guys are more for coverage or stopping the run, or some are just pass rushers. We're going to sort of all lump them in together here, and you'll sort of see how this is going to go as best as possible, because there's a lot, right? And there's a lot I feel like we had to leave out. A lot of the guys that we're leaving out, they were just a little too slow. Someone like the Mutt Superstars, Luke Kuechly, right? Just not the world's fastest guy at this point. I think he's got like 79 speed. So there are going to be some other cards left out here. Ryan Shazier, we're not grading him. He's a free card. If you have him as your captain, you know he falls up really high within the list. So I'll try to describe each card, how I like it, how I don't like it as well. And we'll just sort of start from the back. Team of the week, Clay Matthews. He's an outside linebacker who gets Enforcer. A lot of times people really do like to use Enforcer, and I tried to use him as well. And I mean, obviously Enforcer works very well, but what I needed him for, he did not do great at all. He was just too slow catching up to the ball, too slow hitting the hole on certain runs, especially when we were running like a stretch defense. So unfortunately, we're going to put him in the C category, because he still does get Enforcer. He's still a completely viable player, but from the Enforcers, he's basically the bottom. Telvin Smith, who's basically like a little bit less than Keith Bullock, right? Not the best at block shedding or pass rushing, much more of a coverage guy. But I don't know how much it really matters, because some of these other coverage guys, they play well. Now, if you're playing an outside linebacker role, he's truly playing on the outside, and he's playing in like a curl flat, a purple zone. He does play pretty well. We'll put him up in the B range. I see the use for him. I know a lot of people normally, they get out of 3-4 when they're in pass coverage. A lot of times you will play against players who do pass the ball from running sets. Let's just go ahead. We're going to put LT as our first S tier, okay? The reason he's S tier, yeah, he's an old card, but he still does everything so well, and he has a ton of value. Every team should have a Lawrence Taylor. That's why he's going to fall up at the S tier. We all know that. His next card will probably be the best card on defense, just the way that every Lawrence Taylor card goes. And Clowney is basically the same as Lawrence Taylor. They're super similar cards, but Clowney is like 3 times the price. I'm going to put him in A tier. I think Clowney is really good. I think he plays extremely well. I've used him forever, ever since he's come out. He's been on my team. I love him. It would be hard not to play with him. I play him on the opposite side of Lawrence Taylor. I play Lawrence Taylor on one outside linebacker for the run sets, essentially, right? And then Clowney plays on the other side, ahead of Von Miller or Khalil Mack for me. I do like him better than those guys. This price is really high. Even after all the Redux stuff, it's still high. Really good card. This price is going to bring him down, because I think he's probably the most expensive card on the list. Jamie Collins, very similar to Telvin Smith, just on the opposite side of the ball. Not a very popular card. I've never like played against him, but I did use some comparisons to see how he looks. He's fine. You could put him in the C tier. I think it's fair. You know, he's basically Telvin Smith, but we're actually going to put him in. We'll put him in C tier simply because he can't be powered up. Okay, so he loses some value there. Avery Williamson, brand new middle linebacker, came out a couple days ago. Doesn't do a lot great. He does have, I believe, really high block shed. And his price is that 400K-ish mark. I kind of want to put him as the lowest here. Kind of do, but I'm going to put him up here in the C range. He does have purpose. Not a lot of purpose, especially for his price. For his price, you can get much better cards. We're going to put him down here in C. We're not really grading many D tier cards when we do these lists anyway, so it's fair. Similar, Levante David, We're going to put him down here as well. His middle linebacker. I need my middle linebackers to have a little more pop and a little more speed, right? They're covering so much. They are the field generals. Levante David doesn't do that. He does provide coverage, but even then, he's not the best coverage linebacker. Not even close. Shazier kills him. If he was an outside linebacker, he'd be up. You can obviously play him outside for where he is, or read the card. That's fine. Up next, Bobby Wagner. Again, Bobby Wagner is a victim of his first card. His first card was just not very fast, and it was being very held back. Every Bobby Wagner card this year, unless he decides to take a major jump, is going to be held back. He's never going to be that elite middle linebacker this year. Unfortunately, it sucks. We've all loved using Bobby Wagner cards, but this just doesn't work. He still does a lot well. We'll put him in the B tier. You could put him in the C tier, honestly. Really could, but he's not that expensive. He's cheaper than Williamson, but we'll put him up there. It's fine. It is fine. Up next, Willy Lanier, older card, as enforcer, super high hit power. Played against him, he makes plays. We're gonna put him at the front of the B tier here. Not a lot of people do use this card, but he is quite good. The problem is he was quite good early on. Now he's sort of basically right where Bobby Wagner is. He's basically right there. Very similar cards. We'll leave him there. I feel comfortable with that. Keith Bullock, brand new outside linebacker on the right side. He's got a little more speed, which is good. Can play some coverage, which is good. And I've played against him. He still doesn't really cover the routes that you would hope that he could cover. But he's a linebacker, and they can only do so much anyway. But I'm going to put him up in the A tier. I see his value. I see why people use him and have him. But the difference that he plays in coverage isn't great enough for me. He's not someone who's going to be on my team personally. Not this version of the card, at least. I would much rather play Willis or Shazier on the outside if I really needed to have that extra coverage there, and that extra speed. That's just me. I play a bit better. Brian Urlacher. Difficult decision here. Back of the card looks great. Everything he does looks great. Not an enforcer, though. And where do you slot a middle linebacker without enforcer? That's tough, because a lot of the times you want that middle linebacker to have enforcer. You want that big hitter right in the middle of the field. He's much more of a coverage guy. And we have coverage guys who have enforcer, and we have a Shazier very similarly. I like what he does overall a lot. We'll put him up in the B tier here, somewhere in the middle. Good card, play against him. He does a lot. He's got a lot of range. If maybe he was a hair faster, if he was a 92 overall, powered up to 93, I'd move him up. You know, you don't need enforcer on everyone. You obviously can't have it, but he's still pretty good. Dion Jones, this hurts me a bit. Similar to Urlacher. Not quite as big, doesn't do quite as much. I'm going to put him at the bottom of the B tier. He is faster than the guys in the C tier, which is why he doesn't really fall down there. He's either at the end of B or the top of C. Either way you look at it. For me, it's disappointing. Dion Jones is normally the speed guy. He needs to be fast. He's not fast enough. Just for what you need out of him. Kevin Green, probably the most underrated linebacker in the game. Easily. I'm going to put him up in the A tier. Everything he does is really good. You've played against him. You notice Kevin Green. Kevin Green is all over the field, making plays, rushing the passer. Very easily can get him to 90-90 finesse and power move, which is a rare combination. He's almost an S tier, honestly, which is crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if someone in the comment section says that they would put him up here. He's Kevin Green, so a lot of people, we overlook him, but he's as good as the following two guys, Von Miller and Khalil Mack. They both fall in the A tier as well. Both really good cards, super solid. They do a lot. Von Miller feels pretty glitchy, but so does Kevin Green and so does Khalil Mack. I'm actually going to put Mack last out of the three. I feel like that's more fair. Kevin Green is like a third of the price of these cards, so Kevin Green's gonna win that. Oh, now we're getting to the tough stuff. Patroclus was my favorite linebacker in the game for a long time. He's just been out a little too long. We're gonna put him at the top of A tier. He's still a little pricey for what you get out of him. Got a lot of speed. He plays that coverage role very well. Has enforcer. Probably the most versatile linebacker in the game, honestly. But what he lacks, these other two cards make up, and we're going to put Bosworth and Ray both at S tier. And the reason is they're the same card. Okay, they're the same card. They really are the same card. We'll put Ray ahead first, simply because of the price. But Ray and Bosworth are basically the same card. They both play very well. Their coverage stats are not great, but they do play enough. I've had them get in the way of stuff. I've manned them up on slants, and sometimes they've played it and sometimes they don't. But I don't always expect my linebackers to play every single route. You know, the fallacy of, oh, I manned him up. You're manning up a guy with 60 man or 52 man or whatever it is, you know. But they do occasionally, they play stuff. And they play really well and they hit really hard. I've won games simply because of them. I feel like Willis, the same overall, is a better card. 93 Willis is better than either of these two. But we'll see. But these are the linebacker rankings here. I think this is pretty accurate. Most of the people your player got all these S and A tier guys anyway. If you don't have them, go pick up the budget versions of them. You know, if you don't have a Von Miller, you know, go get a Kevin Green. If you should have a Ray Lewis or Lawrence Taylor and Ray Lewis at a minimum should probably be on most teams, unless you do a lot of sub linebacker packages and stuff like that. Then you're probably putting Jamal Adams up in there. So it is what it is. But this is a very good list. I think it's a really, really accurate list. Again, there's cards that we missed, and I know that we missed them, but these are the ones that we were covering here. Just assume that if we didn't cover them, they're probably more in the C range. Except for Shazier, who would be up in the A tier for sure. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks so much. You guys are the best. See you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.